Welcome everybody. Today's video finds us over here in Cambodia. And what we're going to look at today is we're going to take a look at a 9th century Khmer temple that was built and opened up in 879. So it's got a few days under its belt. Anyway, this was built by King Indravarman I. And the tradition went is what they did is they built a temple to their ancestors before they built a temple for themselves. So he built this temple 2 years before he built another temple that's just over this way, Wat Bakong, which is a fantastic temple. This is a different group away from Angkor Thom and all of that. But anyway, he built this temple and he unveiled it for King Indravarman II and the ancestors. And Indravarman II was known as the founder of the Khmer Empire. So anyway, we're gonna walk around here and let's look at it now. It's gonna be kind of a bummer because scaffolding is up. It's the bane of my existence. But we'll still be able to enjoy the towers and see what we see. This right here is the main road that runs down towards Bakong Temple and a couple others. This is the, what is it, the Rulamos group. It's a pre-Angkor. So this used to be the capital over here. And this is quite cool. Now, there's not a whole lot remaining of like the perimeter wall and the gopuras and all of that. But the highlight is the 6 towers up there. So you see here what they did is they reconstructed the wall with the sandstone and the laterite stones. And now the modern road is just right up here. But you can see the different styling, if you've seen any of my videos, of these compared to what the Bayon era did. And then we got some more of the laterite stones over here and some of the stone carvings and all of that. But this is really, really, really old. I mean, 9th century it's amazing that any of this is still here. So this would have been a big complex. And I think maybe the royal palace was over here in the middle of these 6 towers. So you would have came in through the outer wall, through the gopura, and all the towers would have been whitewashed. They would have been carved and would have been decorated up. Now it's just the bare stones. So there would have been a structure over here, and there's not much left of it. Just a little bit of the bricks, a little bit of the laterite stones, and a few of the sandstones laying around. Most of the inscriptions that were here have been taken away. There's a few that are still on site. So this would have been some steps that would have brought you up into the entrance, the middle gopura here. And you can see the size of the stones. It always amazes me. Oh, this would have been pretty cool. So there would have been a standing figure here and a standing figure over here also. So this would have been a crucifix-shaped entranceway. So you'd have came in here. There would have probably been an image kind of over here in the middle. And you would have came in. This would have been covered. And you can see all this is really common with the styling and the carving of these sandstones. So they would have made the door jamb. They notched it all. And they had it down to a science. They had it where it went in just absolutely perfect. Same as up here with the windows. So this would have been a small part of the crucifix-shaped gopura. Now, I don't know where they quarried all these laterite stones at, but they're a pretty common building tool, and it's pretty easy for them to use. They could cut this pretty easy. I was reading about where they got the sandstone. There's like 148 different quarries that they've identified in the Kulin Mountains and this area. So you can see here, this would have been a nice little building here. It's kind of collapsed down. It's mostly just rubble now. And over here, they're trying to shore up that little library. Let's take a look at this small little tower here, and then we'll go up into the cluster in the middle. There'll be 6 buildings in the inside, and as you can see, they got scaffolding around 2 of them. And a lot of rubble and debris over here. This isn't one of the sites that most people go to. It's just one over here in the older group. The majority of visitors to Angkor, of course, go to Angkor Wat, Angkor Thom, Bayon Temple, all of that. But you're really missing out because there's so much more to see here than just those big temples. You can see the styling. They did it. It's kind of cool because they did a pretty smooth brick, but they still put little notches down here. They still did all the brickwork on the bottom. And then up there you can see the styling of that. Oh, this is a fantastic little building. And it's in really, really good shape for how old it is. And this is the library on the left. And it's in probably better shape than the library on the right over there. You can see the sandstone doorways and the laterite stones. It's quite amazing. And you can see how they did the windows. So this would have been whitewashed. So if you can imagine this being a completely white building, and then they would have decorated it up, did all their things. Oh, and it's such a bummer that those two buildings are in scaffolding. When I was over here in October, they were not wrapped up. So bad timing for us. So they would have had some columns here that would have went up right here. There would have been a lintel, and it's gone now. And you can see how they did these bricks. These are really a thin brick. Kind of cool. Inside this little building right here, they would have had a deity, and I'm not sure which one it was, probably Shiva, since that's who this temple was dedicated to. And you see these right here? These are quite cool. These are like the little tops of the wall. And they did that in this era of construction. They had these just notched in, and they would stick them up on the top of the wall. And you can see how tall this building is. It is just massive. And it's kind of funny, there's a lizard running around here. It made me jump when I first came in. All right, so this is pretty nice. And they're just using this kind of as a storeroom now. And you can see they would have had the lintel up above the door here, and that's all gone. Or it's taken away anyway. And then there would have been another building over here. And you see that in the construction of these. This one isn't like a pyramid temple, but the pyramid temples, they would have these buildings up on like the second tier. They would have the whole gallery of them across the way. And they still did that here. So you can see the outer wall, and there's a little bit of it left. Now the name of this temple, Prasat Ko, means like the sacred bull. And this is Shiva's sacred bull here. So you can see they got a few of them out here in the front. And then they have some of the Khmer style lions. Then right up front here, you can see some of these stone columns. And they're just sitting down here on the ground. They're not going to do anything with them. But you can see the details that they carved in them. And it's really quite amazing. And it's just, you see so much of this stuff here, and it's just kind of tossed on the ground. They just don't have the manpower to restore it, and it's just expensive. So this group that's restoring this one is a German outfit. You see a lot of different countries that will come here and sponsor it, like the French or India or Japan or the US or whoever. This one is done by Germany. So you got the Khmer lions here, and then we're gonna look, there's 3 towers across the front and then 3 towers in the back. So we can look at it a little bit. So you can see the Khmer lions here. And then they carved all of this. It's so cool. And you see this shape right here. That's what they did in this era. So let's go inside. So you can see where they've restored this. This is all new restoration. And you can see the lintel above the door. I think that's Vishnu up there on the top of, that's like the Raku. Climb over the scaffolding, we'll look inside here. So inside here you can smell the bats, and then you can see the piece of the broken pedestal. And then they would have had the same construction as over there. They have a couple little notches for some light or breeze or whatever. And you can see, this is really cool. So you can see the old Khmer, and they've put it back on both sides of the doorway. So this is definitely a restoration, but they would have tried to replicate what they saw before. Same as all of this up here. Yeah, I really like this. You can see another one of the figures over here up amongst that scaffolding. Okay, let's look at the center tower. There's no scaffolding around it. So you can see they have on the door jamb, they have the Khmer script also, and they got the intact lintel, and then they got the little figures across the top. Oh, that's great. And you can still see some of the original up there in the brick. And then you can see down here, this has all been restored. You can see the color of those bricks, and that plaster is just too perfect. But up there, that is like as the Thais call it, the Ruku. I think it's Rukha in here in Cambodia. And then inside will be another one of the shrines. And it's kind of knocked over. It still smells like guano in here also. And then there's some more of the Khmer writing. And then they've tried to restore this the best they can. You can see on this tower on the right where they've come in here and restored all of this. The faux door, and this over here, this would have been already restored when they did the center tower. You can see the reworked lintel above the door and everything. Okay, let's go back and let's look at the 3 back towers. This is what it looks like underneath all that scaffolding and stuff. So this is the tower on the left when you first are looking at it. But what's cool is these 3 on the back. So this little pedestal holds 6 total towers. And you can see some of the original brickwork here, and then the restoration, and this original like sandstone down here on the bottom. Ah, this is really, really nice. And then over there, some of the original, some of the restoration also. That's the center tower, which is just a little taller than the tower on the right. Now, I'm not sure why they did 6. You know, usually with Hindu, they did like 3 across, or they did like 1 big one in the middle, and then 4 on the 4 cardinal directions. So I'm not sure. So if you know why they did 6 here at this temple, let me know in a comment down below. I would like to know. So you can see the figures here, all the little carvings, and then the original brickwork with the little images, the Hindu mythology stuff up there. And then the faux doors on 3 of the directions, with only the opening on the west side, or east side, I mean. This is the west over here. You can see the condition of this. It's in really bad shape, but you can still see the original right there. That's the original brickwork. And then this has been restored. Same here. And they shored this up to keep it from collapsing down. And they did this also. So I'm sure they put this in as a restoration and tried to mimic the one that they took out there. And then this is the center tower, and then the one in the front. Oh, this is really a nice site. It's not really super huge, but it's quite cool to see. I really like it being, you know, back in the 870s when they built this. So there would have been 2 lions right here on the west side, and this is what's left of the lion down there. It's broken off, and then there's the gopura, and then the outer wall, and then it's just jungle out all around. You can hear the cicadas doing their thing out there. And we can't see it, but this is a lintel that would have been right there, and it's just face down right here. It's a massive, massive block. And you can see the condition of these other towers. And then you can see all the parts that are missing, the little notches here for those columns. And they did the columns here out of brick, and then there would have been a lintel right up there also. Let's look inside this middle one over here. It'll look pretty similar to the others, has the Khmer script on it. So we can see the styling of the columns and the little figures right to the left and the right. And then the lintel right there, and you can see the nagas over there on the side, little 5-headed naga. And then the deity in the middle. And then all that up there is original. Ah, it's really a nice site. And then inside here, so we have just the feet. So there would have been a standing deity in here, and then we can see how this little tower was constructed. And then you can see these are part of the faux doors on the north and the south. And you can see the brick, and this would have been all stuccoed. Oh, this would have been great. And a lot more of the restored Khmer script here. So it looks like a lot of it was missing, but they put back on there what they could read. And this is the back side of that front middle tower. So they redid all the lintels up there, all those little figures across. Oh, that's so cool. And all up there, that's all the original brickwork. And you can see how weathered the sandstone is. Yeah, so this will be definitely pretty cool when they get these other two little towers finished up. And I don't know if they're going to restore any of these side buildings or not. There's probably not going to. This isn't really like a main stop for the tourist. You can see what's left of the sacred cows. This one here in the middle is in the best shape. And then the little lines across the way, there's 6 of them. 2 in front of each of the towers, and then there's the ones that would have been on the back also. And then you can see that little building over there. And they would have had these 3 little libraries, and then there would have probably been another building just like that over there for the balance. That's going to finish up our video over here at Preah Ko Temple. This is a nice little site. It's one that doesn't get any attention, but it should get more than it does get. You know, this is built, you know, in 879 and was dedicated to, you know, Shiva. It's just fantastic. It's mostly down to the base for most of the stuff, and you know, the side buildings and all that are in bad shape, but it does look like they are investing into some renovation. So, you know, maybe in a year or so when they're done with all the renovation in the center, this will be a lot nicer to come and see. I've enjoyed this. It's really, really hot. It's like 40 degrees already, and it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. So if you come here, be prepared to be hot. And just walk around, drink a lot of water, and enjoy your time. I would recommend coming over here. This is something you can combine with some of the other temples, and I'll pin a comment to Bakong Temple, which is the best one in this area. It's one of the cool like pyramid temples. So anyway, if you enjoyed the video, smash the like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and stick around, and then you're notified when I post a new video. And if you know more about it, or you want to tell me your thoughts on this temple, leave me a comment down below. And if there's something else that you think I should see, let me know also, and I'll do my best to make a video of it. Anyway, from over here in Cambodia, remember, life is a journey. Until next time, enjoy.